All right, I'll do that. I think you'd like the chocolate on that. All right, we're going to – this is up front telling you that we're going to give our picks. That doesn't look very large. Is that normally like that?
We've just got more of the
That almost
backdrop.
looks like it's turning at me. And I guess it is over there.
Yeah.
All right. It's intimidating. So, I don't know who's winning this thing.
You are, Smokey.
I still think I have one more win. I think I went 5-0 last week.
No, you couldn't have because Garrett went 0-5, and you guys had a similar pick.
0-5?
Yeah.
What?
Terrible.
What game did you miss? Well, I don't think I missed a game.
I can't even remember.
All right, that's fine. You guys are already – this is sign stealing scandal on our
Hold
picks.
on. I'll tell you.
I really think I went 5-0. There may have been a Pac-12 game. It's always been one to get me. Like, I know I picked I know I picked Washington to beat USC.
Did we do Arizona and UCLA?
Oh no, I might have. Who
Was it Arizona UCLA?
that might have been the one.
No, let's see. You did go 5-0 last. No, well the record reflects that.
What was my record
You were
last week?
26-19. Now you're 31-19. Set your hole.
Okay, all right.
Hey, you're out of here. You're not on camera.
I just wanted to make sure you guys said that I went 5-0.
5-0. And Garrett.
No, you did not.
Garrett went 1-4.
Okay,
so no,
good.
that's not true.
All right, so there we are. Craig actually sent a text out in the group. He goes, "Congratulations," because it was a game late, of which I won as well. So I'm up a game. Emory is sliding.
Yes, Emory last week picked Oklahoma and Kansas State, so that hurt him.
Well, and both games could have gone either way. All right, then there's Garrett, Paul.
Yeah, I'm climbing back to 500. That's the goal. So Garrett was 1-4.
All right, here we are.
He did pick Georgia, and that was.
I'm going to go to the chat room, and I'll maybe read off the first 4 or 5 for each game. You can obviously see that this is boring because there's one game, Tennessee, Missouri, where there's a difference. We'll get to that. So you give us your picks. Paxton says Garrett throw in the towel.
I might need to.
No, it's not. We've got 3 full weeks plus the conference championship games. You can go 5-0. Others can screw up. All right, so here we go. Michigan, and this is kind of surprising to me, but then again not because they've been a battering ram. Michigan, Penn State, across the board, we all take the Wolverines.
Yeah, I don't think that there is a there's just not a reason I can see that Penn State can score enough to keep up with Michigan in this. And Penn State's defense is fantastic. So is Michigan's defense. It's fantastic. But Michigan's just better on offense. They've got weapons that Penn State does not have at this time. Now, maybe Penn State, charges up and gets them, but I just can't see it.
Do you think that you do this us against the world, and they seem like they're going to be fine with that? Some team, Miami loved doing that, right? Mm-hmm. Some teams love doing that. They played better when people hated them. So is there any way that this ever becomes a distraction?
I think it would have already.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Maybe it did.
I mean, the thing is that it's filtered through. Like, so if you're a player, what does it matter that they're stealing the signs?
Well, that you don't know if your coach is going to be gone, and you got kind of like
I don't think.
But they played without him.
Yeah, they played without him
early in the year. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, so like all this has worked out, and basically Jim Harbaugh's people, because you believe in a locker room. Because you've heard some dumb stuff come out of locker rooms of like, this is what they really believe as a team, but if it works. But in a locker room, if you believe a certain thing, and if you believe that Jim Harbaugh is truly a victim in all this, that poor little $11 million a year Jim Harbaugh is just getting picked on.
They just hate us because we're good and we beat Ohio State.
So
here's one thing I do know. You'll also be shocked at how often what we may discuss, what might even be on social media, which could be a zoo, a clown show, how often sometimes within the locker room, they don't know what the hell's going on outside the locker room. If they've done their job, they probably don't, but it's hard because parents and girlfriends and whatever else. Okay, the second game, Georgia. I was surprised. There were some people talking about Ole Miss, of course, they're good, but they're not Georgia good. Not many people maybe are Georgia good. They sure haven't been the last couple of years. Across the board, this is boring. Everybody picks the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, why would you pick against them? Although Ole Miss, like, look, Lane Kiffin's going to have one of these that he pulls out of nowhere. This might be the one. Jackson Dart's playing really well right now. He just hasn't done this kind of thing yet, though.
Beat like the number one team in the country?
Yeah, like he hasn't done that.
And I wouldn't be able to tell you this. What is their best win?
LSU.
LSU since he took over Ole Miss. Okay. All right.
This year, I think.
This year. Yeah, just a little bit a while ago. Okay. All right, there we go with that one. Again, boring. Florida State, Miami used to be the game of the year, as I mentioned. I don't care. It's not the same rivalry. It's still a very intense rivalry, but Florida State across the board.
Where this could swing a little bit.
Stop.
I mean, I'm just giving you some information that could be vital. But Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson did not play against Pitt last week. They are both practicing this week, and it appears that they're trending that way. But if Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson are not in, and they already, like, they had their four of their top 5 wide receivers were out last week against Pitt. And it certainly affected the offense.
They're not going to be out. They're not going to miss this game.
Again, I'm just trying to give you facts here. But
you're giving me facts. I'm telling you the facts, so it doesn't matter if they play or not, they beat Miami.
I think it does. I think it really does, based on what they did. If those guys are not playing, this offense is way different.
You don't think they're going to play?
I think they're going to play, but if they don't, I don't know. Like, again, Mike Norvell's been very, like, mystical about it. Like, it's like he's not giving a definitive answer on it.
I'll ask you again. Do you think that Coleman and whoever else are going to play?
Yes.
Then they'll win.
Okay, but like again, I'm giving some context for it.
Yeah, I know you're trying. This has been a team that's scaring you because it's so close to being.
Yeah,
who I predicted will win the national championship.
But like again, just trying to give context for it.
All right, Tennessee, Paulsville only got the Vols against Missouri. The game here with me on Missouri, and Garrett and Paul, you can discuss this if you want. They gave Georgia everything they could handle. They're really pretty good. They still are kind of, I think, under the radar, so to speak, in the national stage. This is when, to me, they validate, like Kansas going in last week and taking care of business after beating Oklahoma, not saying the same thing at the level of Missouri and Tennessee. This is when you're really good. When you play a game like that was emotional, you played well, you didn't win, and you follow it up with another really quality opponent, and then you win this one.
Yeah. Luther Burden's banged up. And somebody had to be different, and it's not going to mean a hill of beans difference if I'm 7 games out of first or 9 games out of first next week. So I'll take 4-1 or 5-0 this week. I'm fine with that. So given my record, so I picked Tennessee. Their defense is pretty good. And I think that they can muddy the water here enough for Mizzou. And if Luther Burden's not there, then it changes their offense. But we don't know. Again, Eli Drinkwitz has been a little, sketchy on that. So, but if Luther Burden's not there, then I feel really good about my pick.
Do you know the picks of all of us when you pick yours?
No, I picked before all of you.
That's what I was going to say, because you said somebody had to be different. There could have been a couple of other
I mean, I had to do this twice, so yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was the same way on the other one. So,
all right, Garrett, on Missouri and Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, I think Missouri's been a fun story this year. The thing that has me a little nervous is the Luther Burden status. Even without him, I think that having Theo Weiss there for Cook will help. I just don't trust Joe Milton as a quarterback. I think it's I brought this up to Paul earlier. Like, he's good, but all you hear about is the arm strength and throwing the deep ball, and it reminds me too much of Jamarcus Russell. And I don't know if that's PTSD or what, but that's why I'm out on the balls.
All right, let me ask you this: who's a better receiver, Coleman or Burden?
Oh, I mean, I didn't take Luther Burden's good, but Keon Coleman he's something different. I mean, I can tell you there's only 2 guys in the country that I would even debate taking over Keon Coleman right now. And it's Marvin Harrison Jr., who I would take over Keon Coleman because he's the dude, and Rome Odunze
from Washington. Here's a guy who writes for Vols Country FN. He said, there's a video of Burden scoring a touchdown pass against Georgia, the best receiver in the SEC right now by a wide margin. That's why it's a cool little tweet. Yeah. I appreciate the guy going out on the limb and saying that.
I would say that Burden and Malik Neighbors, if I'm going SEC wide receivers, I'm saying Burton and Malik Neighbors, not Burton. Burden. Burton is at Alabama. Luther Burden and Malik Neighbors. Yeah, I'd like that competition right there. Yeah.
All right, the last game. Again,
Brian Thomas, not bad either.
Across the board, Washington and USC. No, excuse me, and Utah. Utah just pulverized Arizona State. I just don't know if they have enough. Do they have enough? If they were okay and healthy and all that, do they have enough to keep up with what Washington can do on offense?
Well, look, I think the game that's going to be a comp to this one was Washington-Arizona earlier in the year, where Arizona really did a good job of keeping Washington in check and had a shot to maybe win that game. I think that Utah can do that here. We saw what happened to them against Oregon, and Washington's offense is really good, but I do think that they're a little more vulnerable because they don't run the ball. So depending on, if Michael Penix goes through a couple bad series, then Utah can kind of hang in this thing. And Washington's defense is good but not great. So, yeah, I think it's going to be more like that Arizona game, but still, I think you got to go Washington here. They're just too good across the board. I was just talking about one of their wide receivers. They have Jalen Polk. They've got Jalen McMillan. They've got another guy whose name escapes me right now. They can just kind of come at you from all angles. So if you're doing a good job in Roma Dunze, well, congratulations. I promise you're probably not on the other guys.
Yeah. All right. There we are. Michigan, Georgia, Florida State, Washington across the board, and the one with Tennessee, Paul. And we don't want it that way. None of us know how the other picks. Levi enters these, right?
I did this week, but I didn't do it until after I was done. So
okay.
Yeah.
So
I even did this week to admit something. Levi sent it to me, but I didn't even look until I was done because I don't want you guys to influence me at all.
That's right. Here's the other thing. Those are 5 of the best games of the week. Again, we don't pick like something that's easy where somebody's a 25-point favorite.
And, after I looked at it, I kind of took a step back and went, oh, yeah, there isn't any difference here. But then I started looking at other games, like what am I going to do? I'm going to pick, UCF and Oklahoma State? No. I mean,
No, we're not going to do that, even though we love to cover the Big 12. Okay, when we move on, the